Alright, Bill of Rights, assignment assistance. Remember, we've talked about the Constitution this year. It was created in 1787. The Bill of Rights consists of the first 10 amendments to the Constitution. It was ratified in 1791. The principal author was James Madison, who was in the House of Representatives for Virginia. Madison later became president. Alright, the First Amendment, probably the one you're most familiar with. This guarantees freedom of religion, speech, and press, the right to assemble and petition. The First Amendment might be one of the best known. It allows people to establish and practice their religion freely and to speak their ideas and opinions. It protects the rights of its citizens to hold meetings and to petition the government. It gives the press, newspaper, magazines, television news shows, the right to publish the news and ideas. The Second Amendment is the right to bear arms. The Second Amendment gives all citizens the right to own guns. You've probably heard news stories. We just did one the other day about this recently. There's been much discussion about whether to limit the kinds of guns that can be sold. Also, many people want to require a background check for anyone purchasing a gun. The Third Amendment is the housing of soldiers. When the colonies were ruled by England, people were forced to house soldiers in their homes. They would have to give them a place to sleep and meals. This amendment made it unlawful for a government to make a private citizen house its soldiers. What that means is soldiers would show up and say, we need a place to stay tonight, and it was the law then that you had to do this. This amendment makes it no longer a law, that is illegal. You do not have to house soldiers. The Fourth Amendment deals with searches, seizure, and warrants. This amendment protects people from law enforcement entering their home without their permission or an order from the court called a search warrant. Pretty sure you guys know what a search warrant is. Basically, you have to go before a judge and say why you need to search something. You need to get that approval from a judge before you're allowed to search it. Unless you believe a crime is being committed at the time, but that can be challenged then in court without a search warrant. The Fifth Amendment, rights in criminal trials and the rights of property. Persons cannot be made to testify against themselves in a criminal trial. A person cannot be tried more than once for that same crime. People's property cannot be taken away without their being paid for it. Sixth Amendment is the rights to a fair trial. This amendment requires a person accused of a crime to receive a speedy public trial by a jury. This did not happen in England during this time. People were held in jail for years before their trial, and often the trial was held in secret. So imagine you get accused of a crime, you get arrested, you get thrown in jail, and you have to wait 3 years until your trial, and then you're found not guilty. Well, now you just spent 3 years in jail awaiting this. This right of a speedy trial doesn't put an exact time limit on it, but it's something you can challenge in court. Allows for you to have a quicker trial. So if you are innocent, you get out earlier. The Seventh Amendment is rights in a fair trial. Rights in a civil trial, A civil case is brought by a person to get back property, to have a contract enforced, or to protect a person's right. The Seventh Amendment allows a civil case to be decided by a jury trial when the amount of money involved is over $20. The Eighth Amendment deals with bail, fines, and punishment. The Eighth Amendment does not allow for unfair bail or fines and the use of cruel or unusual punishments. The framers wanted to eliminate the use of torture on suspected criminals or as a punishment for a crime. The Ninth Amendment, rights kept by the people. Some of the delegates thought that if a right was not listed in their Bill of Rights, it might be interpreted to mean that people did not have that right. The Ninth Amendment protects the rights people have that are not listed in the Constitution. Change that. The Tenth Amendment, powers kept by the states and the people. These are the rights not given to the national government, are rights kept by the states or the people. We talked about this unit a lot we talked about the 10th Amendment a lot in January. So stuff not covered in the Constitution are up to the states. And that was our whole unit for our third unit that we did once we got back from winter break. Alright, so all these questions are your opinions, so I'm not going to put any answers on, but I will explain each. Which of these 10 amendments is most important to your life right now? Why? Which of these 10 amendments has the least impact, meaning it really doesn't involve your life right now? Why? Why are the 9th and 10th Amendments important? Why are the 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th Amendments important? You don't have to do it individually. You can combine those 4 amendments. If somebody got pulled over by the police while driving, why would the 4th Amendment be important for the person who got pulled over? And then 6, do any of these amendments seem outdated today in 2020? If so, which one and why? And if not, why not? Okay. Hope this helps. Talk to you tomorrow.